Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh, my young brothers and sisters. Inshallah, you're all very well and comfortable and looking forward to the story that we're going to narrate today, inshallah. There were two really good friends. One was called Muhsin, the other was called Asr. They were both 10 years old. They were best friends. And they were in the same class at school. In the same school. One day they were in the class and the teacher said, I want to introduce you to a new member of the class, a new person called Richard. And Richard was a very shy boy. He was very shy. He didn't have any friends. Muhsin thought it was a very good idea to go and introduce himself to Richard and say, Richard, hi, I am Muhsin. How are you? Is there anything do you require? Let me show you around. But what Asr did was he went with his friends and started making a mockery, started to laugh at Richard and Muhsin and making fun of Richard. Muhsin thought that was a very bad idea. That's a very wrong thing to do. Muhsin said to Richard, ignore them, don't worry about it, I am your friend now. Richard was so happy that at least he has one friend, and that is Muhsin. And he went back home, although a bit sad that he was made fun of by Asr and his friends. He was happy that he had Muhsin as his friend. Asr then went into Muhsin and told him, why are you becoming friends with Richard? Don't become friends with Richard. Muhsin said, no, it is our duty as Muslims to care about everyone. It doesn't matter, he doesn't need to be a Muslim. He can be also a non-Muslim, but we still can care for him. Asr said, no way, I'm not going to become his friend. Muhsin said, no, you should, and stop making fun of him, you are bullying him. Asr then said, I don't want to be your friend, Muhsin, anymore. Muhsin said, why? He said, I don't want to be your friend because you are not listening to me. The next day, they were playing football and Richard really wanted to play. But Asr said, no, he's not coming to play with us. Muhsin said, why not? He's our friend. He's part of the class. And Muhsin and Asr said, no. But then they all decided, okay, let's bring Richard in. But while Richard was playing, someone came and tackled him, and then Richard fell. Richard started to cry because he was hurt. Muhsin straight away ran towards Richard, picked him up and said, Richard, are you okay? Richard, are you okay? Asr didn't even care. In fact, Asr was giggling that Richard fell and hurt himself. So Muhsin took Richard to the teacher, took him to the nurse, and the nurse called his parents, Richard's parents, and they took him to the hospital because he was very badly injured. Muhsin went back to his mom and dad and told them, let's go and visit Richard in hospital to make sure that he's good. And his mom said, that's exactly what we're gonna do, Muhsin, because in Islam it teaches us that we must go and visit the sick. So they went and visited them, and they were so happy, Richard and his parents. When they saw Muhsin and his parents in the hospital, they were so happy because they knew that Muhsin and Richard were good friends. After a while, when Richard became better and went back home, he went to school the next day. And when he went to school the next day, they decided to play football again. And Richard said, I'm going to play football, right? And Muhsin said, absolutely, be strong. Alhamdulillah, you're well now. You're going to play football with us again. And Asr was also playing. This time, someone came and tackled Asr, and Asr fell on his head, and he injured his face, and he started bleeding. So Muhsin and Richard this time went quickly to Asr, picked him up, and Richard said, Asr, are you okay? Muhsin said, Asr, are you okay? Asr said, no, I feel really dizzy. So they took him to the nurse, and the nurse called his mommy and daddy, and they picked him up. What Richard and Muhsin decided to do was to go and visit him at home, visit Asr. And when Asr saw Richard coming to his house, he felt so embarrassed. And he thought, wow, what have I done all that time? And I've really not, I've mistreated Muhsin, and I've mistreated Richard. And they are such good people. So he apologized to Richard and said, for me, I should have really taken care of you, and I should have made fun of you. Muhsin said, as Muslims, we care about everyone. We should care about the Muslim and the non-Muslim. And if you need help, we help everyone. And this is the teachings of our religion. This is the teachings of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Ahlul Bayt alayhum salam. So the moral of this story, my brothers and sisters, is that as Muslims, we shouldn't make fun of anyone. As Muslims, we should help everyone and anyone who needs help, regardless if they are Muslim or non-Muslim. We should be kind to everyone, regardless if they are Muslim or non-Muslim. We should be kind to everyone and have respect to everyone. I hope that was a nice story. I hope you can go and sleep very well now. Sleep tight. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.